John will be missed, of course, not only by his friends and his fans, but by the entire Canadian comedy industry. You know, we have a very good reputation internationally now, and that was not the case 20 years ago. John was one of the guys who paved the way for a lot of other people with his success, and especially with his style. It was very gentle, it was warm, it was never mean-spirited, and I think that many of us are proud to define Canadian humor as being that, and John Candy certainly has his place in history for having established that.
Do you know at all if there'll be any sort of tribute tonight for John?
I would expect the Geminis will pay tribute to John, certainly.
One more time?
Yeah. In fact, you could probably use what I said in response to that if you, as the tribute, you know.
Okay. Just look at my hand.
John will be missed. John will be missed, of course, by his friends and his fans, but also by the entire Canadian comedy industry. You know, we have a good reputation worldwide now. That was not the case 20 years ago, and John was one of the main guys who helped define Canadian humor around the world, especially with his style, which was gentle and warm, never mean-spirited. It was larger than life sometimes, and I think a lot of Canadians can be very proud that in the definition of our sense of humor and comedy, John was one of the flag bearers. I didn't like that as much as the first one. I'll try it once more if you like. First one was pretty tight. Let me try it again. John will be missed, of course, by his friends and his fans, but also by the entire Canadian comedy industry. We have a good reputation worldwide now, and that was not the case 20 years ago. John is one of the guys who paved the way with his success for so many others, especially with his style, which was gentle and warm. It was never mean-spirited. It was larger than life sometimes. And when we define Canadian humor, I think we will always see John Candy.
Will they be paying tribute at all tonight?
I expect that John's loss will be the topic of conversation at the Geminis this weekend, and I would certainly expect that the show itself would reflect some appreciative tribute to John.
Was John an influence on your career at all?
I was producing a show back in the late 70s in Toronto that was seen in the States, and we used John, we underused John, and he used to tease me a lot and say, I can do a lot more than I'm doing on this show, and I knew he could. It wasn't right at the time for that show, but of course he went on to prove that he was exactly right, and I'm not sure that the scope of his talent was ever allowed to fully blossom in the short 43 years he was with us. Canadian comedy has a good reputation worldwide now, and John Candy helped to establish that. He paved the way for many others, particularly with his style, which was warm and gentle and larger than life sometimes, and never mean-spirited, and I think that's the way we'll remember John's comedy, and Canadians can be proud of that.
Do you think you'll be paying tribute tonight at all to the Geminis?
I know everybody at the Geminis will be talking about John, and I certainly expect them to pay some kind of formal tribute to him.
Was John an influence in your career?
John paved the way for a lot of us. Canadian comedy has a good reputation worldwide now, and I think a lot of us can thank him for that.
What is your name?
My name is Bernard Rothman. I'm a television producer.
Bernard, were you affiliated at all with John?
No, I knew him though. I met him first over, I remember, in Hollywood at a party at Norman Jewis's. They were very good friends. And I did get to know him a little. We did not work together. But I will tell you that this was a man of incredible warmth as well as tremendous artistic integrity. Made not only a lot of people laugh in front of the cameras, but he had the kind of spirit that inspired not only his own productions, the ones he was in, but the entire community both here in Canada as well as the one in Canada. Much beloved man.
What is your role in Canadian production?
Well, as I said, a television producer, and we're here for the Geminis. I do live in Los Angeles, but I come back just about every year because I love shooting television up here. And this year, two of my shows are nominated. One is the children's series called Lamb Chop's Play Along, which is nominated for Best Children's Series. And the other is an original musical, which I did for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, called The Trial of Red Riding Hood, which Alan Thicke starred in as the wolf. And a lot of people have been kidding him that it was typecasting. I'm here to tell you the man is a wonderful actor, and the production is good. It's one we're very proud of. We think it will be seen internationally for many years.